Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are starting a new campaign in Rome Total War with Spain and with hardest difficulties, and we are going to add some more difficulty factors to the game. So we cannot use temple units. Our starting treasury is actually minus 15,000 instead of that plus 3,000 that it usually is. And as per your vote and requests, we cannot build any ships. We have Numidian overlords, meaning that we cannot attack any Numidian army or Numidian settlement, but we can defend if they are attacking. And finally, we can only use the best troops, which means that our settlements must be on tier 3 before we can actually train anything in them. So that's going to be perhaps the most challenging campaign I have ever played in Manila Rome Total War. But at the same time, this is the campaign I'm most excited about in a very long time. And my initial plan was to do this campaign as a stream, but unfortunately my working schedules are such that I cannot guarantee that I can do those streams when I'm intending. So that's the reason why this is going to be in video format instead of that stream. So our first task, I think, is to try to gain control of Spain, and we need to even that our monetary situation. So currently we need to do something because this is not going to help at all. I think it's double-edged sword to disband some of the units, but I think that's what we have to do. And since Asturica is rather far away and skirmishers are so expensive to maintain, so I think skirmishers will go first. So this is kind of double-edged sword, because we cannot get new units in these units instead. But at the same time, if we don't have money, we cannot pretty much do anything. So I think we are going to use cavalry force. And let's send these cavalry units from Asturica to help. Perhaps we will disband even one of the Scutari units. And here perhaps let's send at least some of the troops to aid. Let's see which of the settlements is easier to take. And perhaps here as well we can send out the cavalry unit. And then let's raise taxes as much as we can. Of course, raising taxes hinders population growth, so this is not even tier 2 settlement, this actually is, and that's going to cause us problems as we cannot construct warlords hold, and that will mean increasing unrest. Here this is tier 2 settlement, so Scalabis, unfortunately it's growing rather slowly, and this is tier 2 as well, though I'm not sure. So if we lower the taxes, we can get 1.5% population growth. But I think before going to that, or rather growing settlement, we need to get some money. And as it is, I think we are making a couple of thousands of profit as it is. But let's see. I think the initial battles will be rather tough. Okay, Corduba has walls, so we most definitely will need infantry to take the settlement, but I think Corduba must be taken. Because otherwise, well, it's fastest growing settlement and Numancia is rather well defended. Of course, now there is the question of this army, what they will decide to do. Of course, if they do attack, we might have a chance to win the settlement straight away. But let's see. So, indeed, the monetary situation is improving a bit by bit, but quite slowly, to be honest. So there is this initial army, and then they have reinforcing army. If we can win this battle decisively, that most certainly will make things quite a bit easier. Though we need to move fast, so that we could take down the initial enemy army before those reinforcements can join. Because that bodyguard unit is going to be trouble, and the reinforcements are coming from somewhere. And especially those slingers must be dealt with. Okay, so the reinforcements are actually quite close. Oh, the slingers are actually willing to risk a melee fight. And if we can rout the enemy general, I think this...
The enemy warlord flees
Okay,
from
good.
our warriors. Attack and drive them back in the same way. You have killed the enemy general. Now his men show fear. Now they may turn and run. Attack! Attack!
And...
The enemy flee from
Okay,
the field
that
like
army is
frightened
fleeing.
goats. Hunt them
Good.
down and slay them all.
And we have some decent experience. And now we only have to deal with the reinforcing enemy army. And I think this hill over here should serve our purposes rather well. Yeah, let's get right on top of it. And winded and tired. That's a bit of a downside. Well, we will have a bit of rest before we need to engage that reinforcing enemy army. And I think the plan is to wipe that round shield cavalry out first. The bodyguard unit, well, it has less men than we do. In our bodyguard, of course, we have taken a bit of a beating already, but I think there is nothing else to do but to go. Okay, so they will be chasing the light cavalry. Or then not. And it seems our general is in bad position. Okay. And it seems the round shield cavalry is fleeing. And let's hope we can just keep our men in line long enough to beat this bodyguard. Not looking good.
Your warlord has gone to his ancestors. His warrior.
But we managed to beat the Carthaginian warlord. I think we lost actually our best general.
enemy has...
It's a victory, yeah, but is it good enough victory?
Leaving the army. Victory!
I guess it's actually, yeah. So we have a new general,
Yes. Move.
and soon we will have the infantry
Troops.
to man the battering ram.
March. Unable to move.
That's idiot. Well, that's not very nice.
Chief. Can't be done. Impossible. March. General, forward. Unable to move.
So next turn, Corduba should fall. And I think that's actually the settlement which we are trying to get to tier 3
Yes.
as quickly as possible. So Carthage and Gauls have formed an alliance. So these guys are not going to help there, but we are going to besiege Numantia with them. So they have only some limited cavalry, and I think we will use our general to take them down to minimize any possible casualties we might be suffering. And with an additional settlement, our monetary situation should be improving as well. And of course we took some losses, so we actually lost one round shield cavalry unit and another one took a bit of a damage, so I think we should begin to make 2,500 to 3,000 per turn.
Your warriors have broken the gate. The way is... Our warriors have driven the enemy from his own walls. The way to victory is open. Attack quickly!
And let's actually form up here first.
Attack quickly!
And this should be relatively easy, because round shield cavalry is not that good, at least in my opinion.
We need fight no more.
Okay, good. Clean enough victory.
We shall rule.
And since we are trying to grow it, I think we will occupy it. And armorer. I think we actually need to take this guy to lead the army in here, and of course, yeah, public order is going to be an issue.
Orders, Chief.
But I don't see any other option than just to leave these guys to struggle in here for now. And at the moment we are making something like almost 4,000. So in a couple of turns we are starting to make money. And that will mean mercenaries and some buildings, for instance to Corduba. Yeah, I think we can cease fire. I don't think the Total War option is actually that good in Rome Total War, because we cannot declare war automatically. So that's a bit of an issue. And as long as the public order remains in blue, I think we are doing okay. Let's go to besiege Numantia. And let's do it from there. And if the spy has done its job, which it hasn't, we could have taken the settlement. Of course, we could try to attack this army over here, but I think it's actually... Oh, they have war dogs. But I think it's actually better if they do the attacking. And it's actually this army attacking first. Okay, so basically... this might turn out relatively well, to be honest.
The enemy are scared. They have brought even more men. No
Let's
matter,
wait
we will
for the
count
general
dead
to come
later.
out. And then we will go in as they are routing.
General! With all haste! Units! Units! Double time! Units! Double time! Units! Charge! Units! Charge!
And let's put this unit into position of getting in. Okay, and let's make sure that they are not actually fighting to death, because we want those gates opened.
The enemy flee from the field like frightened goats. Hunt them down and slay them all.
And in. Ah! That's a shame. But if that unit comes again, and let's pull back a bit so that they are not too scared. I mean, guys, go in. In. Good.
Attack quickly! Move quickly!
And then let's capture the rest of the gates of the settlement. If I can find them. I think there is something. And I guess the bodyguard can go straight away there. And let's hope that our general does not perish. Okay.
General! Units!
And they are actually trying to circle around. But I think we are so much ahead of them that we should reach these gates first. Good. And then the back gates. And they are ours as well. And the enemies are not moving. Perhaps they are even taking some damage from towers. And of course, now the question is, should we take the settlement straight away? Or should we try to harass the enemy army? At least taking that light cavalry out might be rather beneficial. So let's bring these troops here so we can actually take the settlement when we want. But let's send these guys out, especially the bodyguard. So they are still Gaul towers. We should keep that in mind. Because yeah, taking these casualties are rather unnecessary. But weakening this army will make most likely the siege that is about to follow quite a bit easier. Okay, so they are perhaps even charging. Let's have these guys have a bit of a rest. And then that unit over there. let's see how we will do. I think taking that cavalry unit out should be quite enough.
Enemy warlord is dead, slain by your brave warriors.
I don't kind of dare to go against those warbands and war dogs at the moment because the situation is still kind of on knife's edge.
Fate has...
We shall rule.
And in this case we are going to exterminate it. Okay, so we are making a decent amount of money, we are the largest faction. So I would say we are doing rather well. And I think we are going to make a shrine to Jesus here because, well, it gives law bonus as well. And I think we are going to make this settlement our capital. And some roads will be rather welcome. I would so much like to retrain some of those units, but rules are rules.
Orders. Forward.
And finally, some troops, oh, Julia, are coming this way. Not good.
General. Yes.
Okay, and that's actually will suffice to maintain the public order. So at the moment we are making hopefully decent enough amount of money. And let's hope that Julia don't actually get a free settlement from here, and perhaps we should send the diplomat to earn its living. And let's get rid of this Gaul force over there and then pursue them over the... Is the mountain range between Spain and France called Pyrenees? So let's go over it to pursue them.
My orders. Units. Fire at will. Units. Movers.
And since we are attacking, they're most likely camping somewhere around there. So our slingers, because we are attacking, should get some shots off relatively nicely.
General. Units. Double back.
So I think one of the wishes for the campaign was actually to use mercenaries only as Spain. So with this approach we are getting to use mercenaries as well. Okay, and hopefully the dogs will flee as well.
Wipe them out.
Okay. So, hopefully we are not going to see any Gauls in this area anymore.
This is a...
And I think this makes a rather nice army
We shall rule.
for pushing into
Orders. Forward.
modern-day France as well. And of course liberate Osca, if there are going to be some issues around there. Okay, so there are going to be. But, okay, and we have another Gaul army approaching. So let's see if we are in a position to relieve the forces there. And now that we are finally having some economy, I think it's time to kind of push the issue to have some more economy. No mercenaries available, and we are starting to really make some money at the moment. And the Gaul army,
General. Can I be?
where did it go?
Yes, my lord. Out of move.
I'm a bit afraid that it managed to...
On my way.
Okay, it's going there. Good.
Lord. Kill them.
So we are going to strike against the war chief. Against the Julii first, and then head to France. And I think we will try to improve the monetary situation still further. Even though we cannot build ships, we can build ports, and that's going to be rather important. So in Carthago Nova and in Corduba we are getting the settlement to tier 2, which is rather important. And have they built battering rams? Okay, 1 unit of town militia there as well. That's some good news for us.
Lord.
Because we really cannot suffer that much casualties. Of course, we should be able to recruit some barbarian mercenaries, but I like my Spanish mercenaries and the original Spanish cavalry a bit better than the barbarian mercenaries. Their quality is rather questionable in my mind.
General, forward.
Reinforcements have arrived, eager for the taste of enemy blood.
Unit mercenaries. Move. Unit. Forward. General. Move. Unit.
So probably the Romans will pull back over there when they are pulling back. And if we bring our troops over there, we will be able to hit them quite well. And these slingers are 1 unit I don't want to lose. Okay, so perhaps with normal game speeds we are able to deal some better damage over here.
Slaughter them! Slaughter them!
Oh, the general unit is about to charge. Okay, I think we are going to take this battle right now.
Wipe them out! General regroup!
The enemy warlord shows his worth. Nothing. Any of our warriors would die rather than run.
Units, charge!
The enemy army runs. Now
Okay,
hunt them down.
And let's hope this will keep the Julii away. At least for a while.
This is a great victory.
And not too many casualties, and all of those seem to be for the barbarian mercenaries. So now Bomarsus is going to be our next target.
General!
And this general is getting some nice command talent. That's rather too angry guy for my liking. I think we will be keeping the rest of the guys here as governors. Yeah, I think mines will be a good investment. And Asturica, perhaps port. Yeah, some extra income is always nice. So I think by the time we are actually getting some troops, our economy should be in relative good shape. And of course, now there is that one issue that if the enemy comes knocking to southern Spain, so I think we are going to go with Shrines of Ipona in Osca. Because, well, we need to move troops through this area because we cannot build ships, and thus it's a good place to retrain them. So the main problem now might be that if Numidian or Carthaginian navy comes down here, we have practically no defenses and very limited amount of mercenaries to buy. So we are kind of testing our luck over here. Then again, if we get this settlement to grow as fast as we can, things will become a bit easier.
March! Move! Destroy!
Okay, only warbands.
On my order! Units! Units! Fire at will! Units, form up! Move up! Unit, General! Units, forward!
So, are they actually going to charge? Perhaps they actually are.
Units! Move at the double! Cavalry! Move at the double!
Okay, so they are not charging actually. Well, then again, perhaps they are. So it seems we are doing rather well here too. Okay,
Enemy flee from
that
the field
went
like frightened goats. Hunt them down.
really
and
nice.
Slay them all.
Though our army is beginning to suffer some casualties, no question about that, but overall I think enemy casualties have been so much higher in the case of the Gauls
This is a
that we should be actually doing quite well. And I'm really hoping that we can actually hire some additional mercenaries. And indeed we can. That's really nice. And let's move against Nabomassus. One possibility which I use really rarely is to actually enslave the population. And that way we could boost the population growth here. Then again, we are growing, what, 200, about 200, a bit over 200 population per day, so only, I would say, 10 to 12 turns for Corduba to grow. And Carthago Nova, well, it will take quite a while to grow.
Yes.
And the Gauls were so nice that they decided to send their army out so that we could actually take it out before they can actually garrison or reinforce the city there.
Await my orders.
barbarian mercenaries.
Units, fire at will.
Barbarian mercenaries.
Units, crew, forward.
Fight.
Units, general. Units,
The enemy are scared. They have brought even more men.
Okay,
No
so
matter,
that army
we will count the dead
we are going
later.
to deal with first, while the infantry marches towards the main army. And of course, wiping the bodyguard out completely is obviously our main goal in here. So let's send this unit here in the rear to make sure that we can wipe them out when they decide to flee. Okay,
Killed
good.
the enemy general. Now his men show fear. Now they may turn and run. Attack! Attack!
Well, that was easier done than said, and it seems the rest of the army is pulling back. No, it's not actually. Okay. That's a rather nice surprise, because I really want to take the army out. Oh, now they are fleeing. Perhaps not one of my best charges. They're actually holding surprisingly well.
The enemy flee from the field like frightened goats. Hunt them down and slay them all.
We took quite heavy casualties
They
there.
need fight.
Perhaps I should look after my troops a bit better. Well, of course, we are pushing towards some rather lucrative settlements. And perhaps that way we can kind of leapfrog to tier 3 settlements, especially if we manage to capture those Roman settlements. So I think we will send in the cavalry first. They are only skirmishers there after all. And since most of the other units... Well, the bodyguard is actually the main issue.
Our warriors have driven the enemy from his own walls. The way to victory is open!
Okay, good. We are in. Time to get the infantry line in. Are they actually going to charge? It seems they are. Well, too bad for them. And I think our infantry could hurry a bit more. And with the slingers, I think we can force the issue so that they will be the ones doing the charging. Are we actually going to hit our... Okay. Well, war cry most certainly would have helped.
The enemy warlord flees from our warriors. Attack and drive them back in the same
No,
way.
perhaps being in front of the slingers is not a good idea for the general. And perhaps we actually could just smash our way in. And
now he can drink with his
that
ancestors and watch his warriors
should
flee.
do the trick rather soon. Rather stubborn warband.
This is a...
Okay, nice. And Nabomasos is ours. I'm just wondering if we should take France first and then continue to Italy, but since there are bigger cities in Italy, I think it's actually more prudent to go to Italy straight away. Of course, it very well might mean that Nabomasos will be lost to us, but that cannot be helped then. Okay, 3,200. Perhaps trader. Well, yeah, there are some bandits over there. Scalabis. Let's build this shrine to Isus. Carthago Nova. I guess port might bring some rather nice income boost. And in Corduba, I'm not sure I want to build any farms in here. Because, oh, that will be really nice. If we are building farms in here, then maintaining the public order will become all that much more difficult. So I think we will take some extra turns to wait and actually build perhaps blacksmiths. And then move out only after that. And of course we could hasten the process by, for instance, disbanding these mercenaries, but I'm not sure if that's the proper way to do, because our reserves are rather weak as they are. Here perhaps we could begin to boost population growth. Masters. Yeah, I guess. Let's get a shrine to Isus because, well, it will be our culture then. Now there is the question, should we just leave Nabomarsos or should we just continue onwards? I think we just have to help over there, because if it falls, then the route for the enemy to Spain mainland is actually a bit too open. Perhaps we could send the mercenary army. Oh, actually the gates are open. Okay, so I think we are going to do both things here. We are going to take Massilia and we are going to drive this Gaul army off. I hate these type of forest maps. At least in remastered you can kind of turn the trees off. But here...
Fresh warriors have arrived! Perhaps it is the time to send them to kill the enemy!
I mean, if the game tries to simulate the difficulties at fighting at woods, it's doing some phenomenal job. So I think we will try to do a bit of pincer movement. With, of course, infantry holding the center. And, well, it will be nice to get the cavalry actually out of the woods. Are they going to be only this unit or both of them? Ah, they have bonus for fighting in snow. Are we actually going to beat them? We
Enemy
are.
warlord shows his worth. Nothing.
Good.
Any of our warriors would die rather than run.
Well, they are still eager at the very least. These warbands might actually have been a rather unpleasant surprise. So they do have some troops still. But what and where?
The enemy army runs. Now hunt them down.
So some... Okay, let's wipe those out, and I think this is it
This is a
for this battle. And hopefully it will take them a while until... Well, it's not going to take a while because the new army is already there. But let's see if we could at least take Massili, and I think this will actually be the final battle of this episode. So I think we have actually done surprisingly well in this episode. I thought the starting position would be quite a bit tougher than it apparently was. But of course we are only in the early game and mercenaries are carrying us quite well. So the real trouble most likely begins when we are facing a rather well-fortified, well-advanced enemy. And because of the lack of the fleets, we cannot actually even backstab them. So I think we will have plenty of challenge ahead of us still. But let's hope they will actually bring some phalanx unit to the front so that we could inflict quite heavy casualties on them before going to enter. Okay, well, that went rather well.
Our warriors have taken the walls. Now the streets will run with blood.
I'm only worried about that big hoplite unit. Even though it's only militia hoplites, it still can be quite devastating if our engagement then starts badly. Oh, some flanking maneuver it seems, with peasants. perhaps we could actually hit them first with the slingers and then with the cavalry, so as to minimize casualties. And they are tired, of course, already, so that's some good news. Okay, you have a quite a bit better target already. Well, that went rather smoothly, and the slingers are doing their job really well, and I don't think that phalanx can actually do too much harm anymore.
The enemy warlord shows his worth. Nothing. Any of our warriors would die rather than run.
Are we actually hitting anything? Okay, perhaps the slingers could actually take even this final unit down.
We need fight no more.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was clean enough victory, I would say. I think we will just occupy it. And the agent can go to northern Italy. So there are quite a few of Gaul armies lurking nearby, which might become an issue. But we are still some 2,600 population away from first tier 3 settlements, and I think we actually need to build those barracks and blacksmiths and also the shrines so that we can actually recruit the troops we want to have. So basically it's going to be Scutari, long shield cavalry. I don't like slingers too much. So Scutari and long shield cavalry will mostly form our army. But of course, while we are building Hall of Heroes, we need to utilize Iberian infantry, which is, well, once again, that's one of my favorite units. Let's actually, before finishing, see if we could hire mercenaries. We cannot. So this is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel otherwise as well, please consider becoming a member. So you will receive some perks and more to say what kind of unit tests to make and how to play these campaigns. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.